The grandparents and sister of Joshua Yates described their loved one as a dynamic force of goodness for their family and the entire community. That's why his birthday was always a big celebration, including on December 30th, 2021, when Yates turned 34.
My husband and I went and celebrated with him for a little while. We sat outside, sat on the porch, and we danced, we laughed. We're always dancing.
But when the time came for Yates' sister, Samantha Brooks, and her husband to go home, Brooks had a question for her brother.
I said, well, Josh, what are you going to do before I left? And he said, well, I'm going to visit a few friends, and I'll probably come back on home. And we left somewhere around 9, 10 o'clock.
The next day would be New Year's Eve when we say goodbye to 1 year and get ready for a fresh start. But Yates would not live to ring in 2022.
We didn't hear from him all that next day, which is unlike Josh, because you're going to hear from him. It just varies on why you hear from him. He might just be bored, but you're going to hear from him.
So the family got worried and headed to Yates' home. At the time, he lived in this house on the 1500 block of Cartwright Street near Avenue C.
The back door is wide open. Josh is laying in blood. He's on the floor.
He was lying there in blood with 4 or 5 bullet shells laying on the floor, full of blood.
It would be Yates' grandfather, Richard Baldwin, who would make the horrific and painful discovery. Someone had gunned down his grandson.
When you go to see, why your grandson never answered the phone or answered your call that day, all that day, and then you go there and you find him, stretched out like that. It's a hurting thing.
Joshua Yates' violent death not only shocked his family, but the entire city of Beaumont. Yates was an up-and-coming community leader who had run for mayor in 2019.
He was just courageous. He's like, you know what? I'm going to just do it. He just woke up one day and decided, I think I'm going to run for mayor. It's time for me to put some work in this community.
Last week marked 2 years since someone took Yates' life, and who that killer is remains a mystery.
It was nothing that said anything about Joshua's characteristics or who he is as a person that would say somebody's going to hurt you, somebody's going to take your life. He wasn't a bad person. Kind to everybody, give you the shirt off his back.
Even opening up his home to people.
I don't have enough fingers to name how many people Joshua welcomed in his home. Strangers, he would give a warm place to stay. So I never thought that somebody would take his life.
But Brooks wonders if it was her brother's compassionate spirit that made him a vulnerable victim.
Kindness. Sometimes it makes you feel like maybe the kindness got taken advantage of, and it was the death of him.
Get to me so I can see you again.
This is video of Yates sharing his faith that the afterlife is a better place. It's a belief that provides comfort to his family, knowing he's at peace.
I'm calm, I'm content, and I'm not angry anymore. I just want answers.
Brooks says learning who did it is the main answer her family is seeking. She says with the not knowing comes the fear that the killer could be someone close to them.
We still help people in need, so are we helping the hand that hurt us the most?
Yates' grandmother, Joyce Baldwin, says her grandson always helped his fellow citizens, and she says it's time now for them to return the favor, and the family is pleading with the public to provide any tips that can locate the killer.
What happened to him? Who done this? I'm not for vengeance. I just want justice done.
Can't hide forever. You have to come out. I mean, you may not want to, but the man upstairs is going to make you.